This chapter talked about choosing repertoire for your orchestras and how to do so without picking something that's too challenging or too simple for them. Um, Choosing something too challenging might be discouraging for students, and then picking something not challenging enough is not going to challenge them. So you want to be able to find something in the middle of those two. So one thing to consider when choosing repertoire is deciding what time period your music is going to be from. So I remember in orchestra, my director would always pick a classical piece to play as well as like a pop song, and then just like a new contemporary song by like Brian Balmages or another Richard Myers, composers like that. Um, yeah, so picking pieces from different eras can help develop technique. So picking something from the classical period can help teach lighter bow strokes, especially with like constant eighth notes, teaching them how to develop that type of stroke. And then if you pick like a romantic piece, teaching them vibrato maybe with that, or a heavier vibrato. It's also important to consider pieces that they might enjoy. This could encourage practicing. So maybe if your students you notice that they're struggling to practice their music, picking something fun for them might encourage them to go home and learn it more. But it's important to not always cater to what they want, because obviously they need to learn and play different styles of music. And it's not good to just play pop songs all the time. If they hear progress with what they're learning in orchestra, they'll want to practice more. So if you pick a piece that's too difficult and you can't read through it together on the first like sight read without it completely falling apart and not like being almost basically together, then it might be too difficult for them, and you might want to consider picking a different piece. And also choosing pieces based on how strong each section is. So if the cellos are a weaker section or the basses are a weaker section, doubling apart so that there's more coverage if one section is weaker than the other. Another thing that shocked me was while reading the chapter was the appearance of method books is something important to consider, and I never really considered that. So if the book is we used Essential Elements, which I think it was laid out very nicely, but if the pictures are clear, if the directions are clear in each method book, if the music being taught through the method book is explained well, that's important. And yeah, so there's a couple different levels of music that was discussed in the chapter. I think that grade 1 and grade 2 were probably elementary levels, or maybe grade 2 is stretching it a bit, but if students start in 4th grade, then 5th grade might be a good option for the grade 2 level of music. So grade 1 reinforces basic fundamentals of playing a bowed string instrument. So super basic music. The keys are D, G, and C, and then the rhythms are simple, like a whole note, half note, and a quarter note, and eighth notes. And then the grade 2 music, they introduce minor keys and keys like F, and they also add in dotted rhythms. And then grade 3 is third and fourth year players, and they have more minor keys, so that wouldn't really be considered an elementary beginner grade level for strings.